Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is The Drive. Good morning. And we've got the guests rolling in this morning. Skipper of the Utah Tech Trailblazer baseball team, Coach Pfatenhauer, joining us now on the show. And we are loaded today. And, Coach, good morning, man. Thanks for dropping by live in studio today. Gracing us with this presence.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me.
We are excited to have you. So many close games. We were just talking off air. You guys have been in a lot of games that just have not went your way. And you were just saying, hey, you're proud of the guys, though. They continue to fight for you.
They have. They've stayed together. They haven't got chippy with each other. We talked about it a little bit this week. Just really proud of their efforts. We haven't got a lot done on the field. You know, we've left some wins on the field for sure. We've stranded a lot of runners. We haven't made defensive plays late, and we just haven't been able to keep the other team off the board late. So they're continuing to grind. They're staying with it, and I'm proud of them. And we're not out of it. We still got a chance at the conference tournament, and we'll keep getting after it.
So talk to me a little bit about the pitching staff. What's going on with the pitching staff right now? I know that's been a touchy subject because the ERA is a lot higher than you'd like it to be right now. I know you've been searching for combos and answers. Have you seen some guys that have stepped up as of late?
They have, and we've been throwing a lot of young guys. You know, Dakota West is a true freshman that we started at Utah Valley the other day. Had a great outing for 2 innings. Obviously, those midweeks are tough. You try and get some young guys in there, and then you try and, you know, you got to get everybody in. You don't want to burn guys out. You want them for the weekend. So he threw really well. He's been a really nice addition as a freshman. We've had a couple guys down that haven't played as much. So that's been tough. But, yeah, we're trying everything we can and just trying to get 27 outs.
Talk about this weekend a little bit. This is one you kind of had circled early on. You're going to GCU. You're going to the Lopes, you know, perennial powerhouse in the WAC. I kind of feel like we got a budding rivalry with them. It's a conference game. They're all rivals. I get it. It's not an in-state game, but I feel like in baseball, you want them guys.
Yeah, they're the cream of the crop in our conference. That's for sure. You know, they're the standard right now. You know, they were in the league when I got here as a D2. And we had a really good rivalry that year. We ended up 1-2, and we actually took 6 out of 7 from them that year. And then in the conference tournament, or the regional, which we hosted, they won it and went to the World Series. But yeah, we haven't beat them yet as a Division I, and we're excited to get down there. We're excited to get after them, and I think we're in a good place. We've been super competitive for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and our guys have certainly stayed with it and continue to grow and get better.
I was down at the ballpark over the weekend. You guys get game 1 last Friday against Sam Houston, 7-5, and it should have been probably a little bit bigger there, a couple errors late, and you almost had a complete game for Brett Porthen, but I got chased. You had to go to the bullpen, but you still win that game. I feel like that was kind of like maybe fuel for the fire for you guys could go win that series, and then the heartbreaking 6-3 loss, and then they got you on Sunday. But what can you take away from that series that gives you more confidence going into Grand Canyon?
Yeah, they're the first place team in our league. I think they're up 3 games. I mean, they're pretty much the clear-cut favorite in our league right now. For us to beat them on a Friday night the way we did, and then be right in the game Saturday to lead early, to have chances to tie it up or win late, and just not get it done. Spoke a lot, you know, about where we're at and that we're putting our guys in the right position. We've got the right guys. We're just not finishing the deal.
Coach Pfatenhauer in studio with us here on the Fan Sports Network. And Coach, just give me some guys that you've really been impressed with this year. Who's leading verbally? Who's leading more by example in the clubhouse right now on a day-to-day basis? Maybe not just on the field, but in practice.
Yeah, a couple of fifth-year seniors, you know, on the mound. Jake Dowley's been great. He's a guy that, you know, he hasn't pitched the way that he would have wanted to pitch, especially in the starting rotation, but he's been really good out of the bullpen. He's been a great leader. He's kept the energy up. He's done a great job. And then Zach Thomas, who's been a 5-year guy with us on the mound and offensively, he's really swung it really well the last couple weeks. Those have been 2 guys that have kept it together from a team standpoint and from a commitment and really staying with the guys.
And Coach, we talked a little bit in the break about how you've kind of built inroads in the area and built a fence around St. George and try and get the best prospects. Talk about a guy from Dixie High, Tyson Fisher, just your power hitter, the guy that's been cranking out home runs his whole career. Just talk about how you saw him at Dixie and his evolution to the player he is today.
Yeah, honestly, when we first saw him, we thought he'd be a pitcher. You know, that he was at Snow Canyon as a freshman. I don't know if everybody knows that, but
yeah, he was.
On the mound, we were really impressed with him, and that was what first drew us to him. And then, you know, by his senior year, the offense, he was doing both, but the offense had really come. We brought him in to do both. He actually pitched some for us as a freshman through the fall and maybe a little bit as a sophomore, but you could see at that point that the bat was what was going to play.
It
And
was live, right?
yeah, it's pretty special. And we've tried to cut down the strikeouts a little bit this year. They're up again, but they were really good early. He was doing a great job, and he's staying with it, man. He's I'm trying to give him opportunities in the right situation. He's been really good against left-handed pitching, so we've tried to run him out there every time against those guys. But yeah, he's been a committed guy, 5 years. Really proud of those guys that have stuck with our program for that long, especially through this transition. He was here when we were Division II, and we were winning 35, 40 games, and then to reboot in the Division I deal. But yeah, he's a guy that we're hoping for some more here down the stretch from him at the plate for sure.
I want to talk about the young guys just a little bit. I mean, Breiker Herdsman, talk to me about Herdy. I mean, he just got off his mission not too long ago, and you take 2 years off. There's kind of a recollaboration process, right? You're not getting reps in the cage when you're out there for 2 years. And so for him to hit near 300 right now, this deep into the season, I think is pretty telling.
It is. He, what was really cool was he was a guy that got to come back early from his mission. So we've tried to, if we can get guys back in like May or June,
time it
they
out.
can go out and play summer ball. So he was a guy that did that.
So he got a little bit more reacclimated.
Yeah, that's why he's ahead of the game a little bit. But he's had an unexpected offensive year for us. I mean, we didn't expect that, him coming in. He has been down a little. He's missed, I think, 3 of our last 4 series with some stuff going on, with his body. But he's been great. He's uber athletic. I mean, he's our fastest runner. He's got arm strength. He's a super athlete, and we're super excited about the prospect of our young guys and where we can go with them.
Yeah, his older brother's a great player too. I mean, it's just a baseball family. The other young guy I'm starting to see you get into the mix a little bit is a freshman from Desert Hills, Carson Irvin. He's fast. I know you've been trying to get him some situational work to get him ready for the years to come.
Yeah, he's another guy that we look at as, when you look at our roster, I mean, we obviously were just a Division II 3 years ago, and we're growing and we're trying to get better, and we love the guys we've had, and we were super successful at the Division I, level, but we need some guys that play at a little different speed, and that's where we're starting to go. And when you watch those 2 guys, for instance, play, they can both really fly. They both have arm strength. They're both gritty. And, that's the way we need to go is with those types of guys. But Carson's done a good job. We've put him in some big moments. He had a really good series at UTA. And I think he hit 400 at UT Arlington. He stole some bases, and he's really been electric on the base pass when he's been on.
I understand you can't recruit everybody in St. George, and you're going to lose the Luke Andersons and the Cooper Vests to BYU, and you're going to lose the Landon Fry to Utah occasionally. But I'm looking at, a lot of your lineups. You're starting 4 local guys. I mean, you've done a good job. You're trying to get as many of these local kids as you can. I mean, I see that's Tyson Fisher local, Herdsman local, Irvin local, Snow Canyon or Herman. Herman's been your number 2 starter the last couple weeks.
Yeah, he's been really good. That's obviously our goal. We don't want to let really good players out of town. I mean, all those guys you just mentioned, we offered every one of those guys, and obviously at the time with a lot of those guys, we were a Division II school, and that may have been the cause for that. And there's other outlying reasons why a kid may choose BYU over us at times, but we're certainly wanting to get there. We certainly want to be at as many games as we can in town. We want to make our presence known. And we want them to know the brand of baseball we play. We were excited. I think the whole Desert Hills team was out to our game Friday night. And I don't look up in the stands very often, but, my wife lets me know who's there. And it's been neat to see as many Little League teams at our games this year. We can't keep baseballs. I've had to reorder baseballs twice because all those Little Leaguers want all the baseballs. But
I pumped in Ed Rogers, please return the baseballs to the third base dugout. The kid's like, I'm getting this signed after the game. I'm not returning
they'd rather have the ball than that free popcorn. But it's been great. I mean, that's one of the big things with the Division I transition is just the crowds being bigger.
Yeah. Saturday was a great crowd when I was there.
It's been really good, and it's a testament to our guys and, them to letting people know and the families in the community. It was my goal when I got here. I probably said it on your radio show, Devin, 10 years ago. I mean, Coach Schlossnagel, when he was at TCU, he made a comment that the most proud thing of his time at TCU was in the Arlington or Fort Worth paper every year, they were the best bang for the buck, going to a TCU baseball game on a Friday or Saturday. That's what I want our product to be. I want our product to be exciting. I want us to be, fan friendly. And I think our administration is doing a better job of that. We're going to continue to try and grow it with some different things around the facility, some things we can do, down the left field line on the short field for student activity. Dallas Clifford and our Stampede, they've been awesome and super supportive of what we do. And so we want to make it that, we want to make it something where it's, it's not 1,000 or 2,000 people twice a year when BYU and Utah roll in, but it's 1,000 people every night. And then there's the great nights where there's 2,000. But
and you've had a taste of that going out and playing in Stillwater, going out and playing in Wichita State. I mean, you played some venues where they love their baseball.
The Oklahoma City thing was pretty neat. I mean, I know that may sound bad to play when we got beat 4 times, but we competed. But it was first class. I mean, from their administration, their coaching staff, the facility. I mean, it's an $80 million facility. It is the Taj Mahal of college baseball. That was a great experience. And that's what we've tried to do. Since we're ineligible for postseason for 4 years, I wanted to give our guys the best student-athlete experience we could within what our means are and what we can do. So by going to play at U of A, 2 years ago when they were number 5 in the country in front of 3,000 people, opening up last year at ASU in front of 4,000 people, going to Oklahoma State, going to USC, going to Santa Barbara last year, they were 9th in the country. I mean, the crowds we've played in front of, the college campuses we've been on, the type of talent we've played against, memories that our guys will remember forever. And that's what I want to provide them. Now we just got to get to where we're not winning 1 out of every 7 or 8 of those games, but we're able to win a series or split one.
Utah Tech skipper Chris Pfatenhauer in the house with us here. You lose 8-6 to UVU on that midweek game, but it wasn't a WAC game. You got the WAC series against Grand Canyon this week. You got the game you were just talking about against Utah at home next Tuesday, and then UVU for a 3-game set. So this is a fun part of the schedule. We're getting down to it. I mean, the games are flying by right before our eyes. Anything for our listeners? And what is the talk around the team about the WAC baseball conference tournament? What's that mindset and what's that talked about with the guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's been our goal. Now that we're eligible to play in that's been our goal all year. We've proven by the teams that are up in the rankings that we've played that we can compete with those teams, that we can be right there. Honestly, we're trying to simplify it a little bit more right now. I mean, I can speak about that, but we're just trying to win an inning. That's really where we're going this week is let's minimize the stress level. I mean, our guys have played so hard, and we just haven't come through in some moments. Last weekend against Sam Houston, we hit 295 on the weekend, which is the second highest we've hit this year on a series, but we hit 130 with runners in scoring position. Our guys want it so bad for each other and for the program that the moments are getting big, and we're just not able to capitalize on them. So we're putting them in the right positions. They're putting themselves in the right positions, and we're just not coming through. And there's a certain stress level that you can see those shoulders raise, and you can see it get a little bit tight. And so we're going to really try and go to, man, let's just worry about each inning. Let's win every inning. The stress level's lower, right, to win an inning than win a game. And we're just going to try and simplify. But certainly the WAC tournament, it's in the back of everybody's mind. But we're going to try and simplify it. We're going to try and get out of our own way. And
have you ran the math on what you got to do to get there the rest of the way?
We're going to win the first inning Friday.
I love it.
That's our goal.
One pitch, one at bat, one play, one inning at a time.
That's it, man.
If I learned anything today, it's all about one. Chris Pfatenhauer, you don't seem stressed. You mentioned the stress level. Are you feeling pressure? I mean, this is you're not used to only having 9 wins at this point in the season.
That's the hardest part of it. Is we're not a program that's been here before, and I don't always have the speeches for it. But I love what I do. I love our university. I mean, we're friends away from this, and I mean, this is where I want to retire. This is where my kids are. We're fully invested, man. We are committed to it. Our administration's committed to it. We've got to make some moves. Our school does. We've got to get some more resources, and everybody knows that. In the community, and that's part of our growth of where we're going. We were in a really good place as a Division II, and now we're at the bottom of Division I. But some of our programs doing amazing. By competing at this level. Softball being in first place right now. It's a testament to doing it without the same resources that some people we play have. And that's not an excuse. That's just where we're at and where we're trying to go. But no, I mean, I love what I do, man. I love going to work every day. I want it so bad for our guys. I want them to have those moments, the handshakes afterwards. And I told them a couple weeks ago, man, we've been so close to winning these series. And, going to the airport after a road series win, it's just so much different, than the opposite. And
are they high-fiving random people at the airport or what?
We're trying to, man. We're trying to start high-five. We're trying everything we can, and I'm just, again, I told them this week on the way to Utah Valley, I'm just really proud of the way they've trusted what we're still doing. They've stayed together. They haven't got too chippy. They're committed to it, and I'm excited about the growth and where we're going. I like our recruits that are incoming. I like the guys that are going to be back, and this will be the last time this happens. That's for sure.
A couple more questions. You got a second?
Yeah.
you're wearing the Utah Tech shirts. You know, before you were wearing Dixie, now you're wearing Utah Tech. Are people asking, hey, what town are you in? Are you getting into that when you're traveling, or are people starting to figure it out at this point in time?
Yeah, when we were Dixie, I got it a lot in the airports and the elevators.
You're from Georgia, Alabama?
No, that was every time. That was my 2 cents when the name change was going, was just get our state in there, man. Get our state in there. It's so many less questions. It comes up, it is what it is. Recruiting is the one thing. It's interesting. I talked to a junior college coach last night, and kind of when I go full circle and let them know, hey, we were Dixie State. That's when,
that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't really sure what Utah Tech is yet, but once you let them know, it's there. But it'll be great. I think our school branded the Trailblazer. I was here when we were the Red Storm. When I first got here.
Jerseys look sick.
Thank you. That was a nice perk of the deal. But I think the university and the community did an awesome job with the Trailblazers and the Bison Head and putting that out in the community, and that's really stuck and been awesome. And I think this will, it'll take a couple of years and we'll be fine.
Talk to me about the portal, because you mentioned the recruiting and the resources. Is that the number one question you get from a guy you talk to in the portal in baseball, just like it is in football and basketball? Is like, hey, do you have any NIL money laying around for me? I mean, is that a question you've heard multiple times?
We haven't actually, honestly, in the time, and we haven't delved into the portal a whole lot. Maybe that's maybe that's why we're 9 and what we are right now. I like culture. I like guys to be here for 4 years. I'm not into renting guys. We were able to be really successful doing it that way as a Division II, and I want to continue to do it that way. It doesn't mean we haven't taken a guy in the portal or had somebody leave, but the number's been very slim. I'm really proud when you look at over the 3 or 4 years the portal's been in existence, we've had 4 guys leave our program through the portal.
Yeah, we had 5 key guys in football just last year alone. It's more prevalent in football, maybe.
You look at some of these West Coast Division I baseball programs, they've had an average of 20 to 25 a year. And I don't know how you build culture that way. I don't know how you...
I love what you're saying.
But we got to win too. So I get that, and we are playing teams that are older than us, that have more Division I experience than us. That's not just because we're in our 3rd year; it's because they've gone and got portal guys instead of, we're playing maybe a freshman here, and here, and they're playing a 22-year-old senior here, and here, and that's just the way that we've chosen to do it at this point. We certainly probably have to make a few adjustments. But yeah, we honestly haven't dealt with the portal a whole lot. I think we brought in 4 guys out of the portal in the last 3 years, and those have been guys that we had ties to already. Maybe we recruited them the first time around or whatnot. But we'll make some adjustments in our recruiting. But I don't ever want to compromise what we're doing from a culture standpoint, from a development standpoint. I'm not into, we bring a guy in and maybe we missed and we move him on and go get somebody else. I mean, we made a commitment to that family that we're going to develop them. We're going to grow them as young men, as baseball players, and give them a great opportunity, great student-athlete experience. And I'm not ready to give up on that by any means.
All right, go get a series win against GCU. 1 pitch, 1 at bat, 1 play at a time, 1 inning at a time. And then let's pack Bruce Hurst Field next Tuesday for the Utah Utes.
That'd be awesome. And then the Utah Valley series will be big,
Next weekend.
Next weekend. And so we just appreciate you guys' coverage and your support and the community being out, and we want to keep growing this thing.
Is Brett getting the game 1 start Friday?
Yeah, he'll go game 1. I mean, he's been our
and Carson will start game 2?
I think that we're going to make that decision today. With the midweeks, it's been tough sometimes because you're throwing guys. We didn't end up doing that because it was a Monday game, but we'll visit on that today and go from there. But, those 3 guys we've had in the rotation have given us a chance to win each of the last 3 weeks, and Brett gives us a chance every week out. Man, I wanted it bad for him last Friday, and in the day of pitch count and everything that's gone on, and, watching the big leagues, watching Kershaw last night, and he's, 7 innings. I mean, nobody goes 9 innings anymore. So his pitch count was in a good place. He felt strong, and I wanted it for him. But we had to go to the pen. But he's been a mainstay for 3 years in our rotation, and just a great evolution of a young man, from an academic standpoint, socially, and just his growth has been so cool. And there's a lot of stories like that in our program, man. The more we win, I know those will be exposed, and we like that out there.
Coach Pfatenhauer, Utah Tech skipper, joining us here on the show. Coach, always fun. I love our chats. Got to take a break, though, and you probably got to go get to work.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon.
We'll take a time out. We'll come lots back. Not done yet. Lots more coming up on The Fan. Good morning.